Thanks. Cool. So the first place to start with to talk about parkour really then is to explain a bit about what parkour is. Parkour is a training system. If you want to get fitter, stronger, a bit more capable, then you use a training system, and parkour is one of those. What we do, just about to see the first graph at the side there, we try and get past the obstacles that we have in our environment. Could be the railings, walls, whatever it is. So why do we do it? Because we want to get better at getting past obstacles, really. That's the gist of it. We practice it because we want to get better. The thing is, though, that the obstacles that we face are not just the physical obstacles like the walls and railings. We also face obstacles in anything we do, in work, in trying to communicate, in trying to give a presentation. There are always obstacles that you have to overcome, and we want to get better at doing it. We don't always succeed at getting past the obstacles that we face immediately. Here's a good example of somebody not quite getting past an obstacle. But the thing with obstacles is that if you treat it like a training system, then you do always succeed, because just the act of using your abilities means that you get better, and that's all you really want from a training system, so it's cool. The story of parkour begins with people who are really not strong already. It begins in a military orphanage in Vietnam, actually. There was a young child called Raymond Bell who was forced to be put in an orphanage in Vietnam, and with kids, huge kids, much bigger than he was, and he was forced to turn to the obstacle course outside as a way of keeping fit and getting strong enough to be able to survive in that environment. And he managed to do this very successfully. This is Raymond Bell Mark II for the first photo. And yeah, he did it so successfully, he became a legendary firefighter in the Parisian suburbs. There's a lot of stories that are told about him if you know any Parisian firefighters. So yeah, here's his son then. Here's David Bell, and he grew up well away from any slides or anything to do a talk with. So yeah, he didn't know his dad that well because he was growing up in a different place. And what happened was that he was hearing all these stories about his father, about Raymond Bell, and he was kind of curious about what was going on. So when he had a chance to speak to his father, he was questioning him, how come you're able to do all these crazy things that people are telling me that you can do? So his dad sort of explains that how he got to be able to do all those things was he went out and used the obstacle course. And David Bell then applied this to the environment that he found himself in, which is one of the most boring suburbs of Paris you could possibly imagine. And his friends sort of started noticing what he was doing. They sort of started joining in, and because there was literally nothing else to do, I know I've been there. It's a horrible place for a holiday. But yeah, there was nothing else to do, so they kept it up. They kept moving around the environment and became very quickly able to do fantastic things. As you would be able to see if I had any slides currently to work with. But anyway, the media kind of got hold of this, as media things do, and they started to spread it to other places beyond this little suburb. They managed to spread it to bits in France, and then they spread it to this country as well, which is kind of where my story sort of starts. Yeah, this wasn't my slide. So yeah, it spread to this country. There was a quick ident on BBC One between a couple of programmes, and then there were a couple of documentaries on Channel 4 as well. Some of you, if you've got good memories, might remember those. But basically, when the media gets hold of things, they start to go a little bit mental. The media focuses on the bits that entertain people, because that's pretty much what media are for. So with parkour, they started focusing on the spectacular moves, like jumping between buildings, and then they got a few people to do some somersaults and thought, well, that's cool, let's do somersaults and show pictures of that all over the media. And yeah, things went a bit crazy, really. Okay. Let's skip ahead a little bit. So what we did then, we got hold of some people in this country and tried to create a coaching association so people could actually have some idea of what parkour was, other than just what they were being told on the media. We put together some fantastic meetings involving a lot of junk food and a lot of people that didn't really want to be photographed, and a lot of spare chairs. And yeah, we've got people from all kinds of different backgrounds to try and find out exactly what parkour coaches needed to do, because coaching is kind of a difficult job. And what we did was, tying back into the slides now, we put together a coaching standards document. The first version we did was about 40 pages long. It took about 3 months to get the first draft. It took about 12 months to get a version that we could actually work from. And yeah, put together a list of all the things that coaches needed to know, and not just know, but be able to do as well. And so that really enabled us to put coaching into place, because once you've got some kind of idea of coaching standards, then you can qualify coaches, and then you can insure coaches, and then other organisations will actually be willing to work with you, which kind of helps if you want to do any kind of sessions with any other organisations, indoors or outdoors. Insurance is kind of essential in the modern world. And yeah, the structured coaching we were doing got pretty popular. This is a photo of an event we did down in the Peak District several years ago. We had 100 people turn up that year, and then the year after we managed to run an event with 250 people in the Peak District. So yeah, parkour was getting fantastically popular. The thing is though, when things get popular, you get a lot of chance to practice what you're doing. So that was really good for us as coaches. It put a lot of ideas to the test. And so we went back to holding meetings and sort of retested our ideas and tried to change things around a bit. You know, we learned a lot from parkour. We wanted to kind of put it into some kind of use, you know, change the ideas and make everything better. Thing is though, there were a lot of other people that were trying to tell us what they thought we should do as well. I'm not going to say exactly what their motivation was, but you might be able to work it out from the slide. There's a lot of people who wanted us to sell shoes, organise competitions, do all kinds of crazy things with parkour, but that didn't really interest us, because what we are interested in as parkour practitioners are parkour practitioners. We don't really need anything from other people. We don't need fantastic shoes, we don't need energy drinks, we don't need competitions. All we really need are ourselves and the obstacles, because that's what you need to practice parkour. Not done yet. Slide 19. And yeah, so that's all we need really as parkour practitioners, because as it turns out, getting back to what parkour is, the philosophy of parkour is all about going on your own path, and because it's your own path, it means you always have to be going first. When you're facing obstacles, the obstacles are there in front of you, and it's not anybody else facing them, it's just you. So it means you pretty much always have to go first. Tying yourselves back into the series of talks that we're doing today.